Back for the, yeah, that's right, man. Back for the nightcap, fam. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. We gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? We got a exclusive club over here, a Tim Black Wolfpack diehards. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all, man. It's all good. We get this content done. Do these do the truth, tell the truth, tell the truth, tell the truth, man. I had a good day today, man. I had my brother, Dr. Musa Abdullah, on the show, and we had a great conversation. He's from the All Things Education official YouTube channel, Johnson. You got to go check him out if you don't know who he is. He been on here like 3 times. I've been on his channel, and we're going to do a monthly series, man. We're going to get together at least once a month and just chop it up, man. Been a long time coming. Known that brother online for a couple years. Good guy. It's a good brother, solid brother. So, you know, I don't work with people often. And when I do, I vetted them pretty extensively. I take my time, and yeah, you can never be so sure, but it just clicks. So check out, once again, Dr. Musa Abdullah, All Things Education official. He's a doctor, he's a teacher, and he's an honest stand-up brother, man, and I like working with him. So, yeah. So we did that. We did a great show. We talked about a number of things, focusing primarily on the government shutdown, but then it kind of branched out into other areas. And I think you'll find the conversation informative as well as enjoyable. Yeah, I think you're going to like that. My people, my people, my people. Yeah, man. So everybody's all right. Tim Black's Wolfpack's in the building. We do this, if you're new to the channel, you're on X or Facebook or YouTube, wherever you are, Rumble. We do this 4 days a week, live streams. All right, we do a Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we, yeah. That's down. We used to do 5. We used to do 6. I was crazy. I don't know. I was just piling on the days. And now I decided that it's probably best to do a little less. Yeah, I think doing a little less has dividends. Lord knows I got more energy. You know what I'm saying? Who's in the house, Johnson? Who's in the house? Who's in the building? So look, this show is brought to you by the Tim Black Legacy Mug. That's that Legacy Mug up in the building, Johnson. Yeah. That's politics for the people. That's who that is. Politics for the people, fam. So don't do politics for corporations. Don't do politics for parties or cliques. We do politics for the people. Right? Man, I was on Musa was on the show today, and he had his mic up here. And I remember I got a mic right there, man. I don't know, it don't sound as good, but it's nice to just be able to just talk with your hands. I guess I'm okay. I just step back a little bit. It's a good mic. It's just this pole gets in the way while you're trying to do your thing. But if you get up on it, it sounds good. I can do my, come on, Tim. Do your Paul Mooney voice, Tim. Do your Paul Mooney. That's right. Talk to him, Tim. You want everybody to know your business. Give them all the tricks to the trade. They won't send it back. Don't give it expecting anything. You did that, Negro. You did it. Giving away the game. The game is to be sold, not told. Come on, Johnson. Come on, Johnson. What have we learned, Johnson? But Paul, I want to help people, Paul. There you go. There you go, wanting stuff again. Always wanting stuff. Always to get along, go along, get along, Negro. Look, guys, the Tim Black Show is brought to you by you. Nobody else won't bring you this show but you. Anybody else crazy enough to support this show except you? Independent media show, calling out the gangsters of the establishment, keeping it 100. making sure that they know what time it is, that we ain't going to all be quiet. Not all of us are sellouts. Not all of us are going to go quietly. Some of us going to put up a fight. Some of us going to stand on business. If you can hit the like button, guys, that'd be amazing. Can we get some likes, please? Excuse me, chef. Can we get some likes over here, please? Thank you. And a little bit of wine with that, please. Get a little wine with that. I'm going to have to retweet my ex. I mean, on X. I have to retweet this on X. Where my X people at? X gonna give it to you. Yeah, man. Oh, man, she be going live same time I'm going live, man. All right, now, come on, y'all. Let's build up my numbers. Come on, man. It's a competition between me and Dana. Dana with the data. Come on now, it's a competition, man. Let's get the numbers up, family. Don't let me lose. Let's do it. I'm joking. Ain't no competition. Just send money. Send money. I got to go get them progressives for that, boy. Hi, Tim. They'll hook a brother up. It's something, man. You get an all-black audience. They want you to get them free shit. What had a sister, one of my sisters, man, who some people joined me on Patreon, and they joined at the Patreon mug level, right? So the mug level was people that, they come at the mug level after 4 weeks, or after 4 months, I send them a free mug, something like that. So it's just like an incentive to sign up. You know what I'm saying? You might want a mug but don't want to pay for it directly because, money costs money. So some people signed up. So I wasn't tracking how everybody's payments were going. So I just saw my mug people. I said, let me send my mugs out. It's one sister, bless her heart. I wrote her, I said, hey, miss, excuse me, miss. I said, yeah, I haven't got your address to send you your mug. She wrote me back a long, beautiful letter. And at the end of her letter, she said, you've already sent my mug, baby, but if you would be so kind to send another, I will give it to my mama. So I'm a sucker, so I had to send her another mug, right? And as I was packing the mug, I was thinking, I'll be over here killing myself over here and doing these shows. And the people I'm doing it for, they want me to get them stuff. You sure I can't be progressive anymore? It was the opposite with the progressives. They'd be like, oh, Tim, you're doing great work. Let us give you money. We want to support you. It's the opposite with my independent / conservative / kind of liberal black audience. They be like, you need to support us. We be watching you. You get paid from that. Like 2 cents, dog. You know how many views you got to get money to make money off views? Man, people hard on me, man. They hard, man. They hard. Small world. So anyway, guys, look, tonight's going to be fun because Buck said, Tim, the best shows are fun shows. So we're going to have fun tonight. That's the rule. We're going to have fun tonight. Fun tonight. All right. And that's the rule, Johnson. We're going to keep it real. Before I get into the content, I got content for the Night Tim Black Live. I want you to know you are watching the most dangerous nighttime politics show in America. Why is it dangerous? Some strap, baby. Swag. Now, it's dangerous because I ain't kissing nobody's ass over here. I'm not hoping MSNBC invites me up. I'm not holding out prayers for CNN. I'm not trying to impress the people over at Fox News. So I ain't going to say nothing about Trump because, I don't want to ruin my opportunity. Nah, because ain't none of that going on, Johnson. Anything that comes my way, that just happens, right? So we're dangerous because ain't nobody safe from us. And we are willing to call out the elites. We're willing to go against anybody standing in the way of truth. And when we cover something, whether we rock with you or don't rock with you, we got to call it straight. And that's the deal. And that makes you dangerous because in this business, that's not what people be doing. I hope y'all understand that. I hope y'all get that. That ain't the way they be operating. A lot of cowards in the media business. They don't want no trouble. They just want their money. Them don't want no trouble. Them don't want no trouble. Before I get going into my first story, I gotta say, I got some great Tip Black Wolf Pack members. And I got some great viewers. Last night I was covering Zohran Mamdani, right? And I was reading off these polls about who voted for him, right? I was reading those off. And a couple of my people was like, Tim, I don't know about you with them polls. Because like one of the polls said that black men were the biggest supporter of Mamdani. Of all groups, black men, 56% of black male voters, according to these polls, voted for Mamdani. And that's the biggest of any group. Second were black women. Black women were like 49% of black women supported Mamdani, according to this poll. But I was focused on the black men part. And I had people in the comment section like Willie Mays, I think I had Nene, I think I had FBA Queen. Oh, by the way, shout out to FBA Queen. She became a member last night. They were like, Tim Black, man, you cannot trust these polls. And I was like, what? And they were saying stuff like, I'm trying to read the comments. I hope people know that the comments, my voice in the comments be out of sync. So when I make a comment here, you see it like a minute later, right? So it's not in real time. So it sometimes makes it hard to communicate because when I'm commenting, when I'm saying something, by the time I'm able to read your comment to it, it's later and I've said something else. Hope that makes sense. So there's a lag between me talking and you getting it in the comment section, and then you responding and me seeing it. That's important to know because so basically it's kind of hard to communicate. That's one of the reasons why Buck Bewley be like, Tim, don't read the comments. Because I never really know what people talking about. Because you got to watch the whole thing to know what people talking about. You peek in and you get the wrong context. But I'm pretty sure it is. There were people in my comment section, not a lot, but there were a few people that disagreed with the polls. And they was like, Tim, somebody said, Tim, it'd be a lot of immigrants who voted for Mamdani. Don't be a lot of brothers voting for Mamdani. So, okay, I said, okay. I started getting mad a little bit, though. I got a little mad because I'm mad that black people keep voting Democrat. That's the point I was trying to make. We got to stop just voting for Democrats, just bam. Make people earn your vote. If you earn your vote, if they earn your vote, you demand something in return, and then they say, okay, they're going to commit to it, then you can give them a vote, and then you got to hold them accountable, and if they don't live up to it, get rid of their ass. That's what everybody else does. We got to be able to do that. Problem is, sometimes once you get people in, they're able to get all that donor money, they become very hard to get rid of. Typically, whoever has the most money to burn is the person that wins the election. So anyway, my point is I started getting mad, right? Because I'm mad black people put Eric Adams in office. I thought Eric Adams was garbage. So anyway, I'm thinking about this all night, right? After the show's over, I'm doing my stuff. I go to X, and I see a sister on X that I rock with, right? It's a sister on X. I like her content. Smart lady, right? And she said there was like 1.1 million immigrants from like African countries, I think she said. She said something to that extent. I know I'm not going to be able to find it now. But she be on point. I just wish I could find her to give her a shout out. Because there's some people on X that I rock with, right? That give me good information, right? Because ain't nobody knows everything. I need good people that I can trust, that I can rely on, to also help me, as a community, as a sounding board, as to read their ideas, to be a part of the community. That's dope shit. So I got my comment section saying it. Don't trust them damn polls, Tim Black. A lot of black people done checked out of these elections. And we got a lot of immigrants. And I'm like, but there's a other column. Like in the poll, they had a column called other. And that other column was pretty high. It was almost as many people in the other column as there was black men, allegedly, according to this poll. So today, I had my brother, Dr. Musa Abdullah, on the show. And we having conversations about the government shutdown. We having conversations about a little bit of everything, a little bit about elites, because he's a doctor, right? So we talking about a little bit about Mark Lamont Hill, the Joe Budden podcast, the Native Land podcast, Angela Rod, Tiffany Cross. We talked a little bit about that. We talked about several things, right? Because we have great conversations. We talked for like an hour and a half. All dope conversations. Long story longer. That man Bird kicking somebody's ass. I don't know who that is. Damn. I don't know what this is I'm looking at here, Johnson. I might have to show y'all now that I saw that. So anyway, while I'm having a conversation with Dr. Musa, he said something that was very interesting. He said the same thing everybody was saying in my comment section. Because see, Musa lives in New York by way of Detroit. So he's not a native New Yorker, but he's been there several years. And he was telling me there's a large population of immigrants who call themselves black. And they may have checked black on that election form. But they are not black. They are continental Africans, or they are Caribbean, or they are this, or they are that. But they check black. He said that's the reason why, that's one of the main reasons why we need to delineate. Because what we want, what we demand, what we as a people, as black Americans, foundational black Americans, where we stand on issues may not be the same place they stand. And then they check us in the box and they throw off all our demographics. They make it look like black Americans choose something that we don't choose. And I said, damn it, I got to go back and tell my people. My bad on that. Now, I don't know to what extent, how many immigrants check black in their voting identification, but that's self-identification. They do it on their own. So if they choose to check black, they do, right? No one makes them go back and uncheck it. I think you can choose whatever you want to choose. So the point is this. Two things. First thing is this. If I'm wrong about something, I admit I'm wrong. I think I was wrong. Well, I think I was on the cusp of being wrong, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to say it. I think I looked at that wrong. I think I believed the poll. I think I believed that people was going to check other. I thought that people from the Caribbean, as much as they like saying, I'm not black. I'm in West Indies. I'm not black. I'm from Sudan. I'm not black. I thought they would check other or some shit. Because they always denying that they black. I'm not black, I'm Dominican. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody rocks like Cameron. You know what I'm saying? Cameron's like, look, I check black. I'm black. So, but it's up to the eye of the beholder, right? So that's the first thing. First thing is, a lot of black folks are getting grouped in. People are jumping into the black group, the black American group. And that's a pain in the ass. Okay, that's a pain in the ass. Second thing is this. I feel good. I knew that I would. I feel good. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So good. So good. I got you. Why you feel good, Tim Black? I feel good because you don't understand. You don't get it, man. That's good news for me. I like to feel like I'm having an impact. I like to feel like we're moving the needle somewhat. You know what I'm saying? And if more black people are waking up and they're not just running out and voting for Eric Adams or running out and voting for Zohran Mamdani without any commitments from them at all for us, that's a good thing, right? It's good if Black America is starting to wake up and wake up and wake up and wake up. Wake up, everybody, no more voting indeed. Sound like Corey Holcomb, baby, can't you see? Listen, man, it is inspirational to me. I'm inspired by this. If I'm wrong, I'm happily wrong, fam. You don't understand what I'm telling you, man. I'm over the fucking moon happy because we've been voting Democrat consistently 90% of the time for the past 50, 60 years. And we have not moved up. Our standard of living is pretty much where it was. Our home ownership numbers, they are still in the low 40s. Meanwhile, Latino Americans didn't come here till like 1960. That's when they started coming here. They've already surpassed us. They're in the 50s. White Americans are at above 70. They've been above 70 and they are above 70. Asian Americans, I think, is even higher. As far as home ownership. Home ownership. So I want Black Americans to wake up and make demands. There are a group of people that don't care if we ever get better as a group of people. They just want us to continue to help their group of people because their group of people have a higher standard of living than us. And they're not really concerned with our pain and struggle. They say they are, but if they were, they want what's best for us. They want us to have 70% home ownership levels instead of 40. And when a brother like me is up here telling the truth, speaking honest truth, facts, instead of going, he hate immigrant, they would consider maybe I got a point. But anyway, shout out to the people last night that were in my comment section who was trying to tell a brother that people be lying. Oh yeah, that's right. People don't follow instructions. My bad. Yeah, duh, Tim. I don't know, man. Maybe sometimes I need I need a partner in crime, man, because I did not see it that way. It really, you know what really stuck the landing for me? Dr. Musa said, a lot of black people didn't vote for Eric Adams either. We don't be voting for cops like that. I was like, right. He said, plus, Eric Adams is from the islands. Nothing for nothing, he's a Caribbean dude. So he probably had a lot of support from immigrants. New York has a high number of immigrants. And as you looked at the rallies, every rally I looked, where I saw Zohran Mamdani, I saw a large number of immigrants. I saw like 3 or 4 black people. So yeah, Johnson. I think Black America's starting to wake up, and they are. They're not starting. They are waking up. They have been waking up. They started way before I started doing this shit. I'm not taking credit for all that, but I have been consistently pounding the drum, Johnson, and maybe all of us beating the drum has created a ripple effect. All these people working together to get the word out about what Black America needs to start doing. Maybe it's starting to work. I say all that to say, thank you for supporting this show. I appreciate your support. I want to earn your trust. If I've earned it, I want to keep earning it. And we ain't got to agree on everything. And yes, sometimes a brother can need your help. And I appreciate you guys giving me your help without coming for my neck. Telling me what you disagree with or what you agree with or what you know, what you don't know, but giving me the benefit of your expertise. I live in Maryland. We have immigrant clusters, but it ain't nothing like New York. The city I live in is nothing like New York City. I've never lived in such a diverse area. Doctor said in New York, you can tell what nationality of the person who did the crime if you find out the location where it took place because of segregation there are in the boroughs. Oh, that's crazy. We don't have that here. That's what I know of. So anyway, big shout out to my Tim Black Wolfpack people, man. I appreciate y'all for holding it down. I do. I appreciate it. Somebody just put this joint in here, man. See, this is what I'm talking about right here, man. Is that? See, now I'm laughing at this. Now I gotta tell you what it says. I gotta show my people, man. Check this out. These type of people I got follow me on X, man. Yeah. Yeah, right there. That's on the thread about Zoran. That's under a post about Zoran. Man, scammer time. See what I'm saying? How people are, man? My people funny, man.
I really don't know what he said.
My people are hilarious.
I don't think he knows.
My people are hilarious. They got a great sense of humor. And they're resilient. They're tough. Y'all know what it is. All right, family. Now, I want to now get us into the show. Folks, let's get into the show now. Let's launch everything. Let's get the first story underway. I'm down if you down. Hit the like button for the algorithm, please. Let the algorithm know that you're watching the Tim Black Show. And we are live and in living color. Where we at? Where we at, Johnson? Where we at? Okay, here we go here, Johnson. We good to go, Johnson.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Look, what you got right now, Chuck Schumer is part of the establishment. And I'm sorry to say that many people in the Democratic caucus are part of it. I would say we have 8 or 9 out of 47 people who I would consider to be progressives. So you can argue, and I can make the case that Chuck Schumer has done a lot of bad things. But I think getting rid of him, who's going to replace him? Who is going to replace him? The issue right now is doing primaries, getting people involved in the political process who are going to create a government and an economy that works for everybody, who have the guts to take on the oligarchs. So I think we need to take on the Democratic establishment all over this country.
Schumer voted no, or is going to vote no, along with you. He did last night, and he's going to do it again. But a lot of Democrats are blaming him because he is the leader of the Democrats in the Senate. And some of your allies, like Congressman Ro Khanna of California and others, are saying Schumer should step down from his position as Democratic leader in the Senate. Do you still have confidence in him as leader of the Senate?
Look, Schumer and I have very fundamental disagreements about where the Democratic Party should be. And I am strongly supporting candidates for the Senate who are not part of the Democratic establishment, who believe in Medicare for all, who are prepared to take on the big money interests and fight for working people. All right, I have a very different vision of where the Democratic Party should go. If Schumer steps down, who is going to take his place? The truth is, progressives in the Senate right now are I think there are about 8 or 9 of us. We are pretty much of a minority.
I want you to take a listen to the Senate highest rank.
Now, before I move on, man, let me say this, man. Couple things here we got to say about old Bernie Byrne. First of all, Bernie Sanders, shut your ass up. Shut up. If you ain't going to speak truth to power, stop talking. Stop talking if you ain't going to keep it real, bruh. Chuck Schumer's a different kind of, we had very lots of disagreements. We had disagreements, but it's probably the same bastards that sold you out, got you stabbed in the back in 2016 and 2020, and you're still carrying water for them. You're still carrying water for them. Damn well Chuck Schumer voted no, but he's a part of them. He's behind them voting yes. Come on, man. That's the thing about the Democratic Party, man. They all did this. This is a scam. It's all a setup. Look, man, they're going to reopen the government because the Democrats already planned to do it. The only reason why we had this government shutdown is because they wanted to get some seats in the House, and they did get some seats in the House. So they basically accomplished their objective. They cost a lot of people their freaking rent money, their food money, whatever, a lot of stress, a lot of late up nights stressing, looking at the ceiling of a lot of Americans, working class Americans, people living paycheck to paycheck on pins and needles. Do you realize how many people probably went upside their spouse's head a couple of times to reboot the system because they were stressed out over their paycheck not coming? You know how many kids who may have got abused by parents at the end of their rope, snapping the rope because they didn't know where their money was going to come from because of the government shutdown? This is a disgusting thing that took place here. And the Democrats did that shit on purpose. And Bernie Sanders knows. And no matter what they do to him, he will never keep it real. He will never say they're straight dope. Everybody pretending. So they want to make Chuck Schumer the scapegoat. But he is just one of all of the nonsense, of the rot of the Democratic Party. It's just what it is. We got people that are so duped. They'll walk around like zombies believing in this group as if they are the good ones. They're not the good ones. In this game, there are no good ones. There's your interest, and who best accommodates that interest, and that's it. That's all you get. This is not show friends. It's show business. We got too many people thinking they got show friends. They show politicians. So no, Bernie's the last person I want to listen to on this topic at all. Who's going to take his place? Who gives a shit who's going to take his place? Why would you worry about that? Chuck Schumer should have been out long ago. The only saving grace about Bernie is he has some good ideas about healthcare. But without backbone, without courage, what do you really have? We have a guy that took a whole lot of money from a lot of vulnerable people and put it into the Democratic Party. That's where Bernie's money went, into the fucking Democrat Party. That's what he did. Took your money, your hopes, your dreams, your determination, and went and worked for Hillary and went and worked for Biden. So I don't take much stock in anything he says. All right, guys, let's keep going. The View has some words to say about Chuck Schumer. Let's see what The View had to say about Chucky Boy. Because everybody's decided he will be the head on the platter. He will be the sacrificial lamb for the Democratic Party's horrible policies. Okay? They're going to use Chuck, a guy that should have been gone 5 years ago. He was ineffective 5 years ago. He's a corpse. He's a ghost. He's ineffective now. He's beyond ineffective. He's counterproductive. You want to be productive? He wants to counter your productivity. And he's just being a fall guy for that. This is their strategy. This is the strategy. FU is the strategy. Democrats and Republicans both play it. It's called screw you. All right. Let's keep going, family.
Treat us like you've met us before. So let us tell you what's been going on. The biggest sticking point in the longest U.S. government shutdown has been Democrats demanding that Republicans negotiate to extend health care subsidies that are about to expire. But last night, 8 Senate Democrats threw in the towel by siding with the GOP to advance a vote that could lead to the government reopening. And they tried to explain themselves to their unhappy colleagues. Take a look.
I understand that not all of my Democratic colleagues are satisfied with this agreement. But waiting another week or another month wouldn't deliver a better outcome.
This agreement tonight is a win for the American people. There was zero chance of dealing with the ACA issue as long as the shutdown continued. Now, I don't know, 50-50, but there's a lot better chance now than there was this morning.
This was a very, very bad vote. And what the election showed is that the American people want us to stand up to Trumpism, to his war against working class people, to his authoritarianism. That is what the American people wanted. But tonight, that is not what happened.
So, I mean, you know, the 50-50 chance of negotiating health care subsidies. I just remember all of the people who are coming in and hoping that people would vote them in and say, yes, you can be this person, or you can be a judge, or you can be this. And they all said, no, we're not going to mess with anything. No, we're going to leave everything as it was. I have no faith that they're going to negotiate and come back to the table. And you know, I'm glad that folks, maybe, because, again, we have seen, you say this is going to happen, and then it doesn't happen.
Right.
So surprise me and show me that this is really, that people are going to get their money, that people are going to get the money that they are entitled to. It's not a gift.
Right.
They're entitled to this money during the when there's a shutdown. You're entitled to that money.
Yeah.
So
There's
this
a
idea
contingency fund
that
for
they're giving in and giving this as a gift.
What is Whoopi even talking about, man? Jesus Christ, what is she talking about? Man, give her notes that she can read, that she can...
It's not a gift. No. You know, it's I don't understand. So is he right that Americans wanted Democrats to keep fighting? You know, this would, and you know, people will get rehired, supposedly, federal workers, and reinstate SNAP benefits, but a 50-50 chance of extending the subsidies, I don't believe it.
So I've been saying from the outset, I don't think anyone wins in a government shutdown, and I welcome this deal. And let me tell you why. So the fight over extending the Obamacare subsidies is about addressing 22 million Americans who are going to see their health care premiums skyrocket. I believe that's important. I'm with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm with Mike Lawler and a number of Republicans who believe we have to extend those for at least a year. However, in the interim, while the government remains shut down, 42 million people are losing SNAP benefits ahead of the holidays. So to me, we've got to hold out for those 22 million whose premiums are going to go up, but deny these people SNAP benefits in the meantime. That math doesn't math for me. I think adults need to get to the table and need to be willing to negotiate. And here's the other factor that wasn't mentioned here. Donald Trump has been pushing Leader Thune to nuke the filibuster, which would allow Republicans to reopen the government without needing a single Democratic vote to do so. Leader Thune didn't do that. He actually worked with a number of Democrats to come to this conclusion, which does get Dems some win, reversing those layoffs, as you mentioned, extending SNAP and WIC benefits through the end of 2026, also ensuring that the military and Veterans Affairs get paid, and guaranteeing this vote on Obamacare subsidies, which we'll see. But that is a much better deal than what could have happened if it was not reopened. And finally, Democrats are going to look like losers if they're just attacking each other in this. For some reason, Marjorie Taylor Greene was better at messaging the stakes of this shutdown, it feels like, than a lot of Democrats were. You have to give people the benefits they are entitled to under SNAP. You have to address the underlying issues of the crisis of healthcare in this country, but get government back working. No one can get anywhere. Flights aren't flying. The holidays are coming.
Yeah.
This is a welcome decision in my mind.
Okay.
Look, let's...
No, man, the Democrats needed to tell the truth about who instituted the shutdown. The shutdown was brought to you by the Democratic Party. The fact that they kept lying about it is the reason why people supported it. They didn't support the shutdown. See, hold on, man. Look, Alyssa Farah is not telling the truth here. She's not being honest. I believe the bulk of the Democrats, bulk of the people sitting at home that call themselves Democrats, did not know the Democrats were responsible for the shutdown. They actually think it's Trump. They don't know. It was the Democrats who voted no. They voted no on a continuing resolution that would have kept the government open. That was Democrats. They kept lying and saying, we don't control the government. You do when you need 60 votes. When you need 60 votes, they needed some of your damn votes. But we don't control the government. So they were lying to people that wouldn't go look because they're so conditioned that they can't go watch anything Fox. They can't go watch anything Newsmax. They got to stay watching CNN and MSNBC, NPR. So they never found out that the Democrats did this, and it was their strategy. This was the Democrats' strategy to have leverage to try to get subsidies for health care that will end January 1st. So I disagree with about all of this support they had. It was a lie. What grown-ass people who would pay bills would be behind a move to keep other people who have to pay bills not getting a damn paycheck? What grown-ass person could do that? What, these women on The View sitting there making millions of dollars? Why didn't they adopt some of you poor people? You know, Whoopi and Joy Behar and a couple of them make good money. They could have took a couple of you guys in and paid your bills for you. Since this is such a great idea, Sonny's got a wad of cash laying around. Why didn't they support their viewers? Yeah, whatever happened to that? I mean, if Tyler Perry could kick out dollars and Oprah kicks out dollars, all these people kick out dollars. Where's the View money kick out? See what I'm saying? Most Americans did not know that this was optional. Okay? It was optional. They chose the option to keep the government closed. A subsidy is not something that's supposed to stay forever. The subsidies end January 1st. They already knew that 6 months ago. They knew that a year ago, Johnson. They knew the subsidies were going to end. It's not new. It didn't sneak up on them. It's like Christmas. It comes on the 25th. Okay? It doesn't come in January or March. It comes December 25th. That's the agreed upon time for Christmas. Democrats had their Democrat voters thinking that this just snuck up and Trump pulled the wool out. They got everybody thinking that Trump is such Hitler that he took away people's health care. That he went and doubled their freaking payments. And that's not the case. Once the subsidies ends, they doubled on their own. That's because Obamacare sucks. It always did suck. Only thing good about it was there were some people who were getting denied coverage due to pre-existing conditions. Obamacare, or the Affordable Care Act, covers 7 to 13% of American citizens. Most American citizens get their health care through their jobs, not through Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act. And yes, Republicans, it's the same thing.
Let's be clear. The Republicans run the House, the Republicans run the Senate, the Republicans run the White House, the Republicans run the Supreme Court, as far as I'm concerned. This was a choice by Republicans to cut SNAP benefits. This was a choice by Republicans to cut ACA subsidies. This was a choice by the Republicans to gut the federal government and federal...
It's not a choice to cut subsidies. The subsidies expired. They haven't even expired yet. They will expire. She should have to write another letter. She should have to write a letter to herself. I need to stop lying on national TV. It wasn't a choice. The choice was not to reissue the subsidies. At least they haven't done so yet. That's the choice, all right? So here goes the hookup, here goes the hookup. You gonna give us another hookup? We'll think about it. Well, if you ain't gonna give us a hookup, we ain't gonna work. We ain't gonna go to work if you ain't gonna give us a hookup. And that's kind of how that went. It's that simple. Well, we'll see how I feel about it January 1st. We'll see how we feel in January when your subsidy runs out. No, we want allowances now, or we'll shut your government down now. That's the negotiation that took place. Anybody trying to reframe this, trying to make it seem a different way, is just straight up lying. It's very basic. Okay, they took the car. They took the car. You know, watch out, you walked out the house and the car is gone. Because they took it. Yeah, it's true. The keys were laying there. They picked the keys up and took the car. They can't blame you for taking the car. They took the fucking car. That's what happened. They drank the last of the Kool-Aid and left the pitcher in the refrigerator. Democrats took the last of the orange juice, but they left the jug in the refrigerator. And all of America's running around blaming Trump because he's the easiest person in the world to blame because he's such a jackass. So it's really easy to blame him. There's only been 10 years of bad publicity about the guy nonstop on every network that's owned by liberals. So it's really easy, right, to demonize him. The only problem is when you demonize a guy so much to the point where it's like it just comes into noise, it turns into noise. I mean, I'm surprised they won any of those I'm surprised they won those races that they won. I'm surprised because at a certain point, calling someone an asshole just doesn't have the effect it used to have. But people wrongly believe that shutdown was caused by Trump. Now it's caused by them subsidies ending. And who set the term on those subsidies? Biden! Biden set the terms on the subsidies. Does that make Trump a nice guy? No, it don't make him a nice guy. Does that make this administration great? No. But there are things that are and things there are not. And if you can't take the truth, get out the kitchen. That's just the truth. What they gonna do about this Obamacare shit with these high-ass rates? What they plan to do with it, I don't know. But I know one thing. If people are gonna lose their job, if people are gonna lose pay, you should have been fighting for universal health care, not this shit. You should have been fighting for the same thing. You know, we're paying for subsidies that subsidize other countries' health care. Do y'all know that? We pay money to subsidize other countries' health care. Right now, we're helping Israel subsidize their health care. Right now. So I get it why people are pissed, but we need to change a lot of things the way things are done in this country. A lot of things need to be changed. Healthcare is one of them. We spend 80% of our gross domestic product on healthcare. We have the worst outcomes. We have the lowest ratio. We have the shortest life expectancy of any westernized nation, and we spend twice as much as the next westernized country for our health care. People say, but people love coming here. That's because they can get boutique rates. If you got money, you can go anywhere. Maybe we got good specialist doctors. We got good cosmetology. I don't know, what's it, the people that do the facials and shit. Maybe we're good at that stuff. And maybe we got some great stuff at Johns Hopkins, right? If you could pay out of pocket, fantastic. The thing, I was looking at this thing, folks. I'm sorry. I was looking at this thing. They were saying how our healthcare system boosts the price of everything. Like you could go get like an exam and it'll be like $800 for the exam. But if you paid out of pocket, it would be $150. But if you pay with the insurance, they like stack on all this shit, Johnson. Because it's free money. Oh, but it's not free because it's our tax money. Get it? When the federal government pays and they chip in, who do you think that money comes from? Us. Let's keep going.
employment. Democrats had nothing to do with it. I want an opposition party. I think the Democrats caved. I think the Democrats let down the American people. And like you, Whoopi, I have absolutely no faith that the Republican Party will come to the negotiating table in good faith. You know, you do something like this, shame on you the first time. You do it twice, 3 times, 4 times, shame on me. Shame on the Democrats for even believing that the Republicans will, even vote on it. There's no guarantee in this New Deal that there's going to be a vote. There's no even commitment to have a vote. So the bottom line is the Democrats went into this after a blue wave out of the American people saying we do want the opposition. We the working people want the Democratic Party to fight for them. And now they just caved and surrendered. I think Chuck Schumer, his days are over. If he cannot keep his caucus together, he needs to go. He needs to be replaced.
I completely disagree with you, Sonny, for this reason, what you rattled off. The Republicans run the executive branch.
Many of my friends are unhappy. They think we should have kept our government closed indefinitely to protest the policies of the Trump administration. I share their opinions of this administration, but cannot accept a strategy which wages political battle at the expense of my neighbor's paycheck or the food for his children. Mr. President, I yield the floor.
I know a lot of Republicans. I know a lot of Democrats. They're cut from different cloths. Democrats simply don't have the cold-heartedness necessary to see people suffering and just say, let them eat cake.
Yeah, but then
they are not the types that
they voted repeatedly to do it. I mean, you just heard Democrats.
And what was Donald Trump doing in the meantime?
He doesn't have a vote in the legislature.
No, he's the president of the United States, the most powerful president with Republicans in my lifetime, Scott. He never once even told them, come back to Washington.
We just played Democrat.
You guys have been out of Washington for a month and a half.
Correct.
A month and a half.
We just played Democrat after Democrat admit that the Democratic plan to prolong the shutdown was causing, quote, suffering. That was their words, not mine. Democrats themselves realized the tactic of suffering was no longer something they could personally stomach. That was their party, not Republicans.
Only 7 Democrats voted for this.
8.
Not Democrat after Democrat. No.
He caucuses with the Democrats.
There were 7. He thought he could break the Republicans, and the Republicans broke him. But he did think that we have good policy, they have bad policy. And there's something, I don't know if it's Trump derangement or they're just crazed. They're like crazed lunatics. But, we have just great policy. We have good people. They have some good people, too. I know a lot of Democrats. They're not all crazy. They're not all. But you have some that are absolutely terrible. I look at this Crockett. This is a very low IQ person. And I look at somebody that comes from Somalia where they don't have anything. They don't have police. They don't have military. They don't have anything. All they have is crime. And she comes in and tells us how to run our country. The Constitution says this, the Constitution. The whole thing is crazy. I feel badly because I've known Chuck Schumer. I knew him when he was a person who loved Israel, and now he's a Palestinian. He's become a Palestinian. And it's amazing. I've never seen a politician change so much. Also, he doesn't have, he was a pretty talented guy. He's lost his talent.
Next on deck.
The Democrats kept the government shut down. That's my point. That's it. I'll rest my case. I'm not going to lose my voice up here yelling about something that the Democrats obviously are not going to admit to. They're not going to tell the truth on it. And it's like, what else can be said? It was pointless. What they did was pointless. They could have got this deal on day 2. They could have got this deal on day 2. Period. SNAP benefit extension and rehire some people. The end. Off to business. What the Democrats are not telling people is big pharmaceuticals in the pocket. Is in their pocket. Or they're in the pocket of big pharmaceuticals. So big pharmaceuticals, the same people that shitted on Bernie and got him up out of the race, got his ass up out of the paint, those same people are the ones behind this. They're getting the subsidies. That's where this money's going, When they say subsidies, it's not like we're sending money to you. It's not like they're sending it to my mom. They're sending it to the insurance company. They're sending it to Big Pharma. They're cutting checks to the big pharmaceuticals. It's not hard to figure out who's behind it. So you look and see who's major recipients of big pharmaceutical money. You start seeing people like Clyburn. Then, it ain't hard to tell, Johnson. Follow the money. Republicans are in the pocket of mass incarceration, private prisons, and the military-industrial complex. Those are their primary areas of selling us out, okay? So it is what it is. Hey, man, we do what we can do. We try to sell the truth, but that's all we can do, man. It's up to other people to, to kind of lead the way. Today, Dr. Musa said, Tim, because he feels like his channel's not growing, he's like, do you ever feel like, you're not making an impact that you want to make? And I said, man, that never goes away. I feel it now. When I look at people with huge platforms who don't tell the truth, when they're just keeping people uninformed, the ill-informed, the misinformed, it's very frustrating. Both parties suck, Johnson. I don't know how to make it any plainer. Both parties suck, Johnson. They do. All right, let's keep it going, fam. Let's keep it going. Remember, man, we're going to have a good time tonight. We ain't going to lose our minds. They want us to lose our minds. They want us to go crazy. Let's not. Where we at?
With Tim Black.
We had a little situation. So I'm going to call this situation.
How low is this shit?
Y'all know if it was up to me, I would have been unplugged.
Can y'all hear that? All right, look. Let me walk out through this. Damn it, why is that so low? Okay, first things first. Any of you guys use TikTok? All right, TikTok people, you may know about it. I don't know if everybody on X, Facebook, or Instagram knows about it. There's this woman. She's on TikTok. She put together a video where she phoned a number of churches. I think the number is 30. Let's say 30. She phoned 30 churches. And she said, I got a sick baby. I got a baby here, infant, and I need formula. Could you help me? Could you please give me some formula for my sick baby? And she had a recording of a baby crying in the background. She called a number of churches. Many of those churches turned her down. Most of those churches turned her down. Now, when she played the video, you could hear the people in the church turning her down, telling her, hey, are you a member of our church? Won't you go somewhere else? Go somewhere local. Won't you do this? Won't you do that? Like, we're talking $20. $20. A church didn't want to give a single mom with a baby that's going hungry a couple dollars. Now, after all of this, after 30 churches were contacted, 2 black churches and 1 Muslim church offered to help. I understand there was another church, I think a small Lutheran church helped too, so I think the number's 4. But anyway, the bottom line is that's the setup. It's a horrific story. It's not a feel-good story. I'm still wondering, is there some type of catch to this? Are these church people really this bad? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you really be this fucking heartless where you can't give a single mom a couple bucks? You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be able to get that anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was walking down the street and someone said, hey, my daughter's sick, can you have a couple bucks for milk? If I got it, I give it to them. You mean a church that gets tax breaks can't do that? That's the job. And they don't answer to anybody except God. Supposedly. So that's the setup, fam. That's where we at. And I'm trying to look around because I'm like, I don't want to get caught, right? I don't want it to be that she has some crazy like twist to it where she was suckering these people or something crazy she was asking them, but she wasn't recording that part. But I can't find that. It looks like these churches may have been just that cheap. They may be just that uncaring, that they will make excuses for not helping the mom and her baby. So anyway, that's where we are. Now I saw this tape. Yeah, someone said yes, Tim, they are. Yeah. Yes, they are. It's horrific, man. It's horrific. Now, this gentleman, now, I don't know if anybody can hear this. I'm trying to, I hope the volume's up on this, man.
Social media, a long time ago. It's just a playground for good things, but also evil. So as much good as you can get out of it, you get a lot of evil. And the person.
So this pastor, he blames social media. He doesn't blame the churches that were phoned, who didn't give the mother help. He's blaming the woman who did the experiment. You know what I'm saying? He's saying it's evil to trick people to see what they'll do, to see if they'll rise to the occasion. Now remember, anybody could have said, I got you, sister. Come on over here. I don't run the church. I don't own the church. But if you need $20 to feed your baby, I got $20. Come through. You would have won the day. You would have won the internet, period. But this guy, this pastor, leading a flock, this pastor is making excuses. And he's blaming the mother, the woman, because she's not a mother. He's blaming the woman for doing the experiment.
Who goes around calling churches and putting the voice of a baby crying in the background. And I say, really the person is low. So, like I teach these men over here, folk want to apologize. I don't apologize to the devil. Sometimes Christians get so weak, you forgot we're supposed to rebuke evil. So if you could pretend to have a crying baby to try to call churches and to trick people into things. Now, let me tell you something about Living Faith. We fed thousands of people. Thousands, not hundreds, thousands. I can't tell you how much money have gone out. Now, we don't advertise it because I'm not a social service. I don't have a big box of money that I sit there and just tell them to pass by. Our staff gives money out of their pocket. And I can't tell you how many times we put families up where we had women with children come here on a Wednesday night, nowhere to live. Ask Sister LaToya, I give her my credit card. Go over here, stay a week. So, but I'm not one of them preachers. I need to go call the newspaper every time we give out a bottle of water. So if you need that, you're in the wrong church. So as long as the members of Living Faith know, and I say we in the middle of feeding people, how you gonna do your little dirty deed? And it's just the spirit of a witch. It's a witch. And my Bible says he do not allow that thing to live. So you have to watch when you fooling with God. I told him I had my scripture. I'm going to slip it in here this week. I didn't get a chance to share it out of Daniel chapter 5. What happened when you mess with the people of God?
This brother done twisted up this whole thing. If you do such great work and you help people all the time, why not help this sister? Why not do this? This was easy. Since you feed everybody, you give them a credit card, let anybody go stay anywhere they need to stay for weeks at a time. They couldn't come up with $20. Sometimes it's best to be quiet. Yeah, you could have just ignored it instead of doing a sermon on this shit to put bigger spotlight on your ass. Yeah, sometimes because sometimes if you don't have a response, if you don't have a good response to something, sometimes it's better to shut the hell up. Yeah, I don't know if that's in the Bible, but it should be. It should be a scripture in the Bible that says, if you're gonna be a cheapskate and not help the poor and hungry, and you get caught on tape not doing so, maybe you should shut up. Or here goes something. You can shut the fuck up. Or here goes something better. How about just say, hey, we screwed up. There you go. We screwed up that time. The person that answered the phone didn't know how to answer that question. We don't usually get phone calls for people asking for baby formula. We not a nursery. We didn't know how to handle it. We just told her we didn't know how to help her with that. And we should have did a better job. And I'm retraining our staff so if somebody calls up with random requests like that, they need to let me know. Get the number of the name of the person and let me know. And we will take care of it personally. Because that's not who we are. But see, this sounds a lot like politicians, right? Because politicians do the same thing. They don't want to admit they're wrong. They don't want to admit they're wrong. See, like at the start of this show, what did I have to do? What did I do, guys? I admitted I was wrong. I admitted me believing that poll may not have been the best way to look at things. I don't live in New York. I don't know what it's like. I don't know how big the immigration population is. I wasn't thinking about people checking black when they are not black. I mean, it's never been such a favorable thing in America to be black, you know what I'm saying? Unless you're trying to get a college, Rachel Dolezal. But you know what I'm saying? But you know what I had to do? I had to admit, hey, that one got past me. I didn't look at it that way, right? My dislike for Democratic Party had me so focused on why we keep voting Democrat that I missed that one. But see, I'm a bigger man because I can admit, hey, I maybe missed that one. I slipped that time. Thank you for correcting me. You know what? Next time, I'll be thinking differently on that issue. Why come this pastor couldn't do that? I mean, if you get a tax break, on the money you bring into the church, and you can't help people, no questions asked, they need to fill out a form first for $20. $20, Jam. $20, family. We're not talking about $20,000. We're not talking about we're not talking about $200 or $2,000. We're talking about $20 damn dollars. And instead of saying, oops, we screwed up, we human beings, Lord knows where our hearts are, we do a lot of good things in the community, we just had a staff member that was not prepared for that question. That staff person has been trained. We're going to do a better job. Anybody can get caught slipping. We got caught slipping. But we got people in this church right now that can attest that we have helped people that needed help. But see, that was also the thing, fam. Part of this is they help people that go to the congregation, but not other people. You understand what I'm saying? That was part of it. A lot of people were asking, are you a member of our congregation? These are the same people that want you to help migrants. These are the same people that you're going to listen to on Sunday. They're going to get up there and try to talk politics. They're like, I've been in these churches where they want to talk politics. They want to jump into conversations about politics and browbeat people. But when it's time for them to rise above, to be the better people, to do the different thing, to be better, to be bigger, what do? Are you a member here, sir? Sorry, we can't help you with that $20. Hypocrites. Not everybody, not everyone, not absolute, but some of them are hypocrites.
See, but that's like taking advantage of a person who's infirm and saying, I'm getting money, but the person not really infirm. You just using them. And I said, every mother that had a baby, what's the first thing they give you before you leave? Put it on the screen. The first thing they do to a mother is because the baby need food. Y'all got the thing I sent you with the WIC? All right, it's coming up. It's coming up. Okay. Now this is on the Louisiana website for WIC. And the first thing you're gonna see, they say, we open. Even though they got people of mental levels that I'm not sure about in DC. But in Louisiana, your WIC still works. And so this is what you do. So for all the little TikTok demons, since y'all don't know how it works, this is where you get your milk. Amen. Now we give you meat.
Here's my question. Now that you know your church ain't shit, now that you know your church, the one you go to every Sunday, the one you go to Bible study for on Wednesdays, the one you give 10% of your hard-earned money every paycheck, won't feed a starving baby. Damn the mama, right? Ain't nobody asked her no questions about whether she was hungry. But now that you know your church is not who you are, because I know you watched that video and said to yourself, well, damn, even if the church can't give her no formula, I would have pulled $30 out my pocket and told her, come up here and meet me. Now that you know that, what are you going to do with that information? Serious question. And I'm not saying I know the answer. I'm legit asking you, what are you going to do? Because sure, you could leave the church, but what's better is holding them accountable. I got questions, and I'm going to ask them at every opportunity. At choir rehearsal, Bible study, praise team rehearsal, during the welcome on Sunday morning service. We need to gather, because ain't no way any of this is Christ-like. Y'all tell me what you think.
Next on.
Man, I appreciate her, man, putting the foot in the script. I appreciate it, man. I really do. Here's the thing, and it's something that's going to be a bit appeal, sister. In reality, this is human nature. This is human nature on display, sister. This is how people do. You can lay it all out for them. Show them exactly everything. Have it on tape. And they will find a way to deny reality. Because they're not willing to accept that their church is some shit. People do it with their political party. You can lay it all out. I can show you. Trump was beating the brakes off the Democrats. He just won every swing state. He got the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court. He running the tables on them. Then who's desperate? I don't know. Who would do something desperate? The guy that keeps winning, who's in a winning position, or the people that keep getting their asses kicked? Oh no, it's not that hard to figure out. But you can lay it all out for them. You can explain it all, step by step. And what happens? Denial. It's not just a river in Africa. It's running through the internet, streets and cities all across this land, even in your street, even in your town, your city, your state. That's reality. I've been telling people, how are we going to be at 40% home ownership for 60 plus years? Vote 90% for a party. How can you rectify that in your mind that makes sense? How is that okay? That Latinos could come to this country, not even speak the language, and be at 50%. And you not look at your party who you've been giving your votes to. And you know what the response to me was? What about the Republicans? What have they done for us? That's like going to a job you don't, going to a place of business you don't work and going, where my check? Give me my check. They'd be like, are you an employee here? No. Have we hired you? No. You a volunteer? No. Never been here a day in my life. But give me my check. But see, that makes sense, right? I mean, I'm just saying. So what I'm saying is, people will defend their position, no matter how ludicrous it is. People say, I say, look, man, we need to become independent thinkers. We need to defend our vote. We need not give it away like candy. Automatically, this is not Halloween, motherfuckers. And they say, oh, you're just a Trump supporter. Everything, all the reasons why I said we need to be independent, they ignore. And they go right to accusing me of supporting a person I don't support. Just because they want to defend their party, they want to defend their position. Just like all those people in that church were defending the church over obviously getting caught with your pants down. You got caught slipping. And instead of admitting he got caught slipping, he does an entire sermon denying reality. And to me, that's an insult. Oh, that's an insult. That means he think everybody in that church is an idiot. And it sounds a lot like politicians. You gonna believe me or your lying eyes? You gonna believe me or you gonna believe your lying eyes, Johnson? It is what it is, family. Once again, this is not all churches. This is not all pastors. That's the only thing I want to say. That's the last thing I want to say. It's not everybody. You know what I'm saying? And there are good churches that do good things. There has to be. I've been to a couple. But there are churches that don't do the right thing. Remember Joel Osteen about 5 years ago? There was a major flood, and he would not open the church to let the people stay out of the flood. Remember that? Remember that? He gets a tax deduction. Remember they found like $10 million in the wall in one of his churches? He's like, where'd that come from? I don't know where that came from. I have no idea where $10 million, I have no idea where the $10 million came from. Jesus works in mysterious ways. Who knows? It was like, can these homeless people, can these people wash out of their homes, stay here? Hell no. Lord doesn't want that. No, the Lord doesn't want that. Lord wants you to go drown, learn to swim. Lord wants you to take them Nikes and walk on up the street. Lord wants you to hit Pete and repeat. Walk on up down the block. Lord don't want you to track your shoes all through my church, through our sanctuary. Now you be good now. You heard?
On Deck with Tim Black.
What was life in Memphis like before the National Guard?
Well, it's been pretty dangerous. I couldn't really go outside or play. And generally, whenever I turned on the news, there's been lots of reports of shootings in my area. So,
yeah, that's very scary. I can't imagine what that's like. And Braylon, what's it like now that the National Guard's there?
Well, it's been pretty peaceful now. I just kind of made it a thing for me to go outside and also practice my trumpet. And I feel like the crime rate has just slowed down a little bit more.
The trumpet. Delicia, you have a seriously impressive son playing the trumpet. That is amazing. Delicia, what's it like from your perspective? I'm a mom, and I can't imagine if my little kids couldn't go out and play.
You know, it's been truly a wonderful experience. It's been well over a month now. And like I said, it's been a thing for me and my children to go outside and play. I've had tea on my porch, which again, wasn't something that I could do at first. And we're just grateful for that, just to be able, to have just that moment of peace. It's been great. And, just being able to do new things and, it's like I said, overall, it's just been a wonderful experience.
That's great. And Braylon, have you gotten to meet any of the National Guardsmen or women?
Well, I've actually met some at my school for Career Day.
Wow, were they nice?
Yeah, they were nice. They told us everything that happens at the National Guard.
Okay. And I understand Team Trump has reposted your video. And, Delicia, I just want to know, if you were ever invited to go to the White House, I mean, would you go to the White House with Braylon if that opportunity ever came?
We would absolutely love the opportunity. We would love that. He's been the most actionable president that we've had in our time. And just for, my son, because this was something that he chose to want to do and give his experience on, he would love that. We would love that, actually.
Braylon,
yes.
What would you say to President Trump if you ever saw him?
Well, I just wanted to give my thanks to him for sending the National Guard here, because, as I stated before, I feel like the crime rate has really slowed down. So I just wanted to give my thanks to him.
Yeah. Braylon, you are amazing. And Delicia, I hope one of my kids can play the trumpet one day. You're a great mom, and you guys are doing a lot of good. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having us. He's absolutely great, a super smart kid, and he's an excellent trumpet, a great trumpet player. So yes, he's been able to utilize his time now to become better, and he's doing that outside, and the neighbors are actually loving it. We just got a text the other day to tell them to keep going, so our neighbors are hearing it. It's just been a really happy community as of late.
Delicia,
and we're grateful.
You are a fantastic mother. I can sense that. And Braylon, you are so smart. Thank you both for being here. It's really an honor to have you.
Thank you so much.
Next on deck.
Tough one right here, Johnson. This is tough. Yeah, this is tough. Part of me wants to say, why you letting them use your child like that, woman? Why you doing this to that baby? But here's the thing, though, family. If the young man really feels that things are much better, they're not policy experts. These are just people. Yeah, see, I don't give a shit how the Democrats look, and I don't much care if Trump gets credit, even if credit ain't due. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's all about that little boy and his mom. It's all about the families that are helped. If it was your ass living in somewhere where there was a lot of crime and for a moment you had a break, things were better, you'd feel good about it. If you're not worried about being a politician, you're not running for office, right? You're just living your life, glad you're not hearing gunshots this week. Glad for a month you had a break. The hard part for me comes in knowing that this ain't gonna last. This is a Band-Aid. Now, don't get me twisted. I'm not upset about the Band-Aid being applied because I'm thinking about those people. I'm not thinking about political points. We don't give a shit about political points. I'm not sitting around worried about what the motivation of Donald Trump is. Neither would you. If it was you living somewhere where people are getting shot and they didn't get shot this week, you'd be like, well, I'm glad nobody got shot this week. People in situations like that don't have time to be worried about what your inclination, motivation, inspiration is. What they care about are the results. What are the results? So I just want to remind people of that because I can always sense it's always people who are worried about optics, how things seem, and if someone's winning, motherfucker, everything in politics is a win or a loss. Everything. Trump getting a ceasefire in Gaza is a win. That's why a lot of Democrats didn't want to apply it because, they don't want him to get a win. They don't care if it saves lives. They don't care if people are, it's going to end the onslaught, the genocide, the slaughter of all these people. They're more concerned about Trump getting credit for it. See, we can't get caught up with that. I prefer not to be a part of that shit. We're just here to tell the truth. And the truth is, Memphis, I'm pulling for you. I want better for you. The National Guard is not the answer. It may be helpful at the moment, but when the National Guard leave, the crime will return if things are not changed. And the change is going to require more than just National Guard presence. It's going to require resources. It's going to require activities, actions right there in Memphis to make that happen. And if Trump really cares about Memphis, and I hope he does, I'm not saying he doesn't, I hope he does. I'm not saying he does, but I'm saying as I hope he does. Get what I'm saying? If he does, he'll be focused on what are the long-term effects. How can we do this long-term? What would make a long-term fix? Look, man, when you're the U.S., you got all the money in the world. And if you ain't got enough, you could just print some. That's what we do for everything else. When we want to buy bombs, when we want to buy a new type of plane, we just print money. We want rich people to get better tax breaks, we just print money. So I'm just saying, the Trump administration has the ability to put the best people on the case and say, what do we need to do to maintain this level? What do we need to do for Memphis? For Memphis to be able to keep things at this level or better. And then initiate that plan. Right? Let's initiate that plan. Don't say you can't afford to do it. Don't say it's too much. Don't say states' rights. I don't want to hear that shit. I'm saying when you're the U.S., you got the money to do whatever you want to do. What good is being a superpower if you don't use the superpowers for the people? All right, that's how I feel about it. I'm sure you feel the way you do. Let me know what it is. Let's keep it going. I'm already sure Democrats were roasting her for her and her son, and saying they're being a tool for Trump. But if Biden had done the shit, they would be applauding it. They wouldn't be saying they're a tool of Biden. They'd be like, we're the good guys. And that's what I can't stand. It's good guys versus bad guys. What about the people?
Deck with Tim Black.
Any questions?
You mentioned senators that are here, Mr. President. Do you personally approve of the deal that's happening right now in Capitol Hill to end the government?
Well, it depends what deal we're talking about. But if it's a deal I heard about, that's certainly, they want to change the deal a little bit. But I would say so. I think based on everything I'm hearing, they haven't changed anything. And we have support from enough Democrats. And we're going to be opening up our country. It's too bad it was closed, but we'll be opening up our country very quickly.
Mr. President, that deal does reverse the mass firings your administration put through during the shutdown. Did you sign off on that, and will you abide by that if this passes?
Well, I will be. I'll abide by the deal. The deal is very good. We're not going to be giving $1.5 trillion to people that came in from jails and from, the gangs and drug dealers and all of these others that they wanted to be given health care, which would have hurt our health care system. I hope that we're going to be able to have a health care where Lindsay and I were discussing it, Jim and I were discussing it, and Katie, we discussed it. We want a health care system where we pay the money to the people instead of the insurance companies. And I tell you, we're going to be working on that very hard over the next short period of time, where the people get the money. We're talking about trillions and trillions of dollars where the people get the money. Yes, please.
The Syria president, sir, could you update us on your meeting? Did you come to any agreements?
Next on Deck with Tim.
What is Trump talking about? Okay. Fam, I don't even know if I got the energy for this. Jesus Christ. So here's what I think he's saying. Remember when we talked about the subsidies? Remember when I said the subsidies are money that's paid to the insurance companies in order to keep your coverage going, right? So subsidies get tacked on, okay? You don't get the money this insurance company does. It sounds like Trump is proposing that instead of giving the subsidies to the insurance companies, that we give the subsidies to the people. And then the people take the subsidies and go buy their own shit. Remember what I told y'all before about how much things cost when you go through the Affordable Care Act. It costs a lot more than if you paid out of pocket. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, because you're paying with federal money, right? When you pay with your money, it's still high, but it's not as high, okay? It's not as high. In fact, in some cases, it's not even close to the same amount. So I think that's what Trump's talking about. I'll do more research on it to find out. but I'm pretty sure that's what he's floating. But once again, Trump likes talking about things without having anything in writing. He just says shit. And then a bunch of MAGA people go, yeah, that sounds good. Nothing happens, and it just goes out the news cycle. And it goes away, and it'll be on to the next big talk, the next big promise, the next big insinuate. Because that a promise, he's insinuating this is what we'll do. We're thinking about doing this. We're thinking about giving all the money, giving every person $1 trillion. We're thinking about it. It would be good if we could just give $1 trillion. Everybody be a trillionaire. We're going to look in to see how we can make it so everybody had a horse and a farm in their backyard. We're looking around. We're looking to see if everybody can have a Corvette. Corvettes are cool. I like Corvettes. We'll get you a Corvette, a Corvette. And then nothing happens. And he'll move on to something else. Would it be nice if everyone can name their star, give them the rights and ownership to a star in the solar system? You get a plaque in your ownership, stocks and bonds in your star planet. Would it be great if we all had our own personal robot to wipe our butts? We wouldn't have to wipe our butts with paper. We can use our robot to wipe our butts. Would it be nice?
Black.
Charlie loved you. It's hard not to get emotional because I know that he would have been the first phone call when he found out that you were going to be taking this position. And the way that I was able to witness the two of you work together for years and to champion and support the president was absolutely humbling to witness. And I am so proud of you. And Charlie is going to be with you every single day in spirit. And I will be praying for you every day because I know that this is just the beginning of an incredible opportunity for you. And sir, thank you for allowing Sergio to have this beautiful moment.
Thank you very much. Thank you, John.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm really sorry, man. I don't know, man. Maybe Candace Owens has got to me, man, but every time I see her face, Erica Kirk, I don't know. Feel like she's lying about something. I don't know. I don't know, man. I just don't feel, I don't know. Yeah. You know, it's like, am I the only person that thinks there's more to things? I don't know. I really don't know. I just see, it seems, yeah. Oh, the woman, I mean, I don't know. Next, I got nothing. Why? It's a private organization naming a new CEO of an organization. Why is that being done at the White House? I don't know. I don't know. Shit.
At least I thought I knew. And that's Miss Kerry Champion. Kerry Champion is a...
Okay, so this story, guys, let me just tell you a little bit here. Stephen A. Smith is getting the blues. Yeah, he's still getting the blues. I mean, everybody's coming at Stephen A. Smith, man. It's crazy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to say he's... Of course, Stephen A. Smith is not above criticism. Of course. Anybody in media can get it. Okay? So that's not what I'm saying at all. Not at all am I suggesting that he cannot be criticized. But it seems like all the time, if it ain't him, it's Van Jones. It's like, I don't know. It seems to me like there's a supreme amount of focus on these two guys. So now this woman, Michelle Beadle, is coming out to Stephen A. Smith. I don't know, and Curry Champion, and Jasmine Crockett, and like, I don't know. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to play a clip. Stephen A. Smith put this up on X, okay? Let's take a look at it together. Let's see if we can form an opinion about it. Stephen A. Smith is responding to Curry Champion. Now, from what I understand, Michelle Beadle just got sour grapes because Stephen A. was better at the ESPN and she lost some time from her show or whatever, and she's always hated Stephen. So that's different. Let's move over to Curry Champion, who we see on CNN from time to time. Let's look at that, and then there's going to be a portion where he's talking about Jasmine Crockett. Let's go to that and see what we get. Hit the like button, family. Let the algorithm know you're still watching the Tim Black Show, the most dangerous nighttime politics show in America.
Person that used to host First Take, used to work at ESPN, used to do Sports Nation, stuff like that. Did a pretty damn good job too. And I have to tell you, I was taken aback, and I think the word shocked does apply when it came to this Michelle Beadle brouhaha and seeing Curry Champion say this about me. Please play cut number 7.
Stephen A. I played that Michelle Beadle clip for one reason and one reason only. I'm old enough to remember being on that show and getting in trouble based on some comments you said about women and whether or not they should know their place when it comes to abuse or non-abuse. Ray Rice comes to mind. Not going to get into the details of all of that. But Beadle just came for you yet again, like she did when I worked at ESPN. I wonder, do you have that same smoke for her that you have for Jasmine Crockett, that you have for Michelle Obama, that you sometimes display for me and Jemele Hill? Do you have that same smoke? I'm sick of it. Keep the same energy. And I call you and I root for you and I say, hey, I got your back. I'm happy for you. But you keep that same energy, sir, for everybody.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You just said, Kerry, you called me, you root for me. Why would you root for somebody that called you out in Jemele Hill, who's your good friend? Because it's never happened. Never. I've shown you nothing but love. What are you talking about? You were hired at First Take in large part because of me. You stayed as long as you stayed and had the support of the people that supported you because of me. Do I need to get bosses to confirm that I'm telling the truth? You know I can. When we see the diverse people that come on First Take, black people, women, the list goes on and on. Who did that? That wasn't happening when Skip was there. That was me. What are you talking about? When have I spoken against you? When have I thrown shade against you? When did that happen? That is a lie. Me, dogging Curry Champion? When? And if I did it, why did you call me and root for me? What are you sick of? Or did you just want the attention? You see, we're going to have a deeper discussion right here and now because I'm sick of this. And I'm not going to be scared by women that I have loved on for many, many years as a colleague and as a contemporary and watching folks back. It doesn't mean everything that I'm going to do is going to please you. But y'all are talking without facts. We want to talk about, like Michelle Beadle talked about and other people talk. Ask John Skipper. Ask Connor Shell. Ask Norby Williamson. I'm usually not supposed to give out names, but what I'm saying to y'all is, whether it's Dave Roberts, it's a Burke Magnus, it's a Jimmy Pitaro, or anybody else, ask them my support. For numerous people that have walked through the walls of ESPN, including you and Jemele Hill. What are you talking about? I didn't want Jemele Hill to leave. I've been on the air religiously stating she's a miss for us. Highly intelligent, very accomplished, good peoples. What are you talking about? When? Can somebody here please find something that on the record when I'm on the air, something talking about Jemele Hill and Kerry Champion? You were at the Tennis Channel. And I brought you over to ESPN. Not just me. Had to get approval. Had to get Skip Bayless support because he was the number one guy. Who you think did it? Who you think did it? I can get into a whole bunch of details that surrounded you not necessarily ending up there. If Skip had his way or somebody else had their way, it was me that stopped that. This marvelous, talented black woman who magnetized towards the camera, had a flavor and a style and a flair about her that I thought would serve the show well. Ask Jamie Horowitz. Ask him. What are you talking about? That's a lie. I have never failed to support you or Jemele Hill. How dare you say that about me? How dare you say that about me? That has never happened. And if I disagreed with stuff, I'd keep it silent. Just like the brothers and sisters were silent about Jussie Smollett. Like Dave Chappelle said, we supported him with our silence because we knew his ass was lying. That's Dave Chappelle, not me. I'm just saying, the point is, I did not do this. What are you sick of? Are you sick of the attention you're not getting? Because you're not on ESPN anymore? I didn't ask you to leave. It was your choice. It's hard, ladies and gentlemen, to sit here and to listen to stuff like this from people who are supposed to be your friends. When you had a meeting wanting to come back to ESPN, who set up the meeting? Who would you call? What are you talking about? Why would you do that? Why do I have to sit up here and come on camera because a person that I thought was my friend would be on camera talking about me like that and didn't even have the decency to give me a call or a heads up? That's low, Kerry. I would never do that to you. And you know it. Never, not in a million years. I've had your back and supported you for years. How could you do that? How could you do that? That's all I'm going to say, Kerry. Because I still love you. That was low. I'm going to let it go this time. That was low. There's no way an even so-called friend is supposed to be blindsided with that kind of video. And you brought up Ray Rice. What kind of thing you think that's going to have on me? You know that's just fodder for people out there to come at me with that nonsense, which you know I was innocent of. Just made a mistake using the wrong word. I've never hit a woman. I've never touched a woman in my life. That's all right. I'm a big boy. I can take it. That stung. But I can take it.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Okay. All right. I saw some of the fallout about this, and I got to tell you, Johnsons, it was not pretty. It was ugly. Oh, the fallout was ugly, Pam. I mean, there are people that have demonized Stephen A. Smith to the point where he's not a human being anymore. Yeah, they don't believe that Stephen A. Smith has feelings. He's not a regular person. He has become a caricature. I believe Stephen A. Smith. I do. I've criticized him for other things. The things he said that I didn't think were cool. And yes, I do believe Stephen A. Smith is an opportunist. He's been a very open opportunist. It's very clear he's out here to make money. He won't run for office because he wants to make money. He won't do this because of money. He's very clear, okay? But I think he's very clear about this too. I could see it in his eyes. I feel that he felt hurt. I know that feeling. I know the feeling that when you've had friends or people that you've helped, and then when they can't get what they want to get, they come for your neck. There are people that say, oh, look how he treats Curry Champion. Look how angry he was. He wasn't that angry with Michelle Beadle. Maybe he never helped Michelle Beadle. Maybe he never did a damn thing for her. Maybe that's different. Maybe he doesn't see Michelle Beadle as a friend or a sister. Maybe that's how he saw Curry Champion. But see, these are things you would have to give him credit for being a brother with feelings. And since Stephen A. has been on the wrong side of certain issues, he can't be given that type of, respect. Yeah. I don't know. I know what it's like to get stabbed in the back like that. So, yeah, it sucks. But that's what happens in the media business, Stephen. You're getting so big, everybody's going to come at you. What'd your friends call you? Santa Claus. The gift that keeps on giving. So, yeah, I think that Stephen A. Smith has a good point. I think I agree with him on this. I don't know the ins and outs what happened with Curry Champion. He did say some things about Jasmine Crockett, and Jasmine Crockett did the, I didn't really watch his response, but whatever it wasn't enough, and blah, blah, blah. Whatever, man, whatever. He already apologized to you once. He apologized again. Bump all these apologies. But anyway, back to Curry Champion, man. That's I guess if you really have a problem with someone and you are friends, if you really are cool, then maybe you would then pick up the phone. But if you are not friends, and only you know if you're friends or not, if you are really not friends, it's different. I get that. I've been in tight situations myself. People like, Tim, you should have called me. I'm like, we that close for real? All right. Some people say you close after they get mad because you do something publicly and they wish you would have did it privately. So I don't know. But in this particular case, I feel that it's very obvious. I get the impression that Stephen A. is actually hurt by this and he's upset that Curry Champion did this. And I just say the business is so dirty. He's the odd man out. And to kind of prove your stripes to the Democrats, this is what they want from you. They expect from you. Like this is part of like the initiation, the further initiation process where you come for the person who's odd man out. Look at all the people coming for Chuck Schumer. You know how shit runs in the Democratic Party? They offer up a sacrificial cow. And that person's Chuck Schumer. So now they're all coming for him, blaming him for something a lot of them all did together. But now he's the fall guy. So they made a decision. And now they're making a decision. Everybody needs to come out to Van Jones and come out to Stephen A. Smith. And then there are going to be a lot of people who are not even part of the nucleus. They're not even part of the thing, who are going to follow suit just because they see other people doing it. Because that's what happens in media. One person does a story, the rest just pick it up and repeat the same story. And their only source is the first story that did it. Now that they went and got more sources for their story. So yeah. Once again, this ain't about Stephen A. Smith, about him being right or wrong. All I'm saying is whatever's going on with Curry Champion, in my opinion, I've seen this story before with other people. I've lived this story. The daggers are sharp, and they go directly in the back, and people do it for all types of reasons, and it's always a dirty business. Hey, I don't want to get personal. Let's leave it there. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section about Stephen A. and his so-called friendship with Curry Champion. I didn't even know he had beef with Jemele Hill. But see, that's the thing. He criticized Jasmine Crockett, even though his criticism I felt was lame. Criticized her about the way she talked about Trump. If she want to go talk about Hitler and not expect repercussions, fine. That's on her. I was upset with the way she was cosplaying. And yeah, I feel like she was cosplaying. I'm not Stephen A. Smith. There's nothing they've given me that they can take away. They haven't given me shit, so they can't take anything away from me. That's how that works. You don't fund me, you can't unfund me. You can't unfund what you never funded. Doesn't mean she's a bad person, but she on some bullshit. Stephen A. himself, I feel, is on some bullshit a lot of times. Playing in Trump games. I told you what I said on this channel. We want to be the dangerous nighttime politics show in the country. And to do that, we cannot be trying to thread a needle, try to worry about who watches, like who we offend. And I just you gotta call it like you see it every time out. And someone once told me that that's gonna be successful. You know what? It doesn't matter if it's successful or not. It's easiest to do. It's the realest thing you could do. And it's second nature. So just do it. And maybe it'll catch on, maybe it won't. But I'm gonna do it anyway, see what happens. All right, guys, that's it, that's all. You've been watching the most dangerous nighttime politics show in the country. The Tim Black Show, Tim Black Live. Thank you for watching. I want to thank my people in the Wolf Pack, my people that keep the show going, man. To become a member of our show, to go to jointimblack.com. To pick up our mug, go to timblackmug.com. I got new shirts. I got my BS Detector shirts. They are fire. They are fire. And I want to thank my moderators, Buck Bewley, Ebony, and the one and only Black Mamba up in the building. I want to thank my members of the Tim Black Wolfpack for their support, their trust. Thank you, John, Nene, Jorge, Cecilia, Black Rose, Anna Jackson, Craig Bertain, Ron the Don, Metamorphosis, Lillian. Hello, Lillian. What up, True? True, okay. Absolutely cosplay. Lillian Madison, thank you, Lillian. And the whole crew, man. Thank you, Nigel, for hanging in there. MP Candy, I appreciate you as well. We are done. See y'all on the next one. Remember, don't let anybody take your cornbread, Johnson. Keep your cornbread right where it is. They're going to try to take your cornbread. Keep your cornbread. On one. Break. Everybody's got reason for doing what they do. Everyone has their own excuses. Here goes 3 of mine. It's really I got more. And I get the whole family together. Every once in a while, somebody can go, wow, I did this. I did this. Yes. So to that I say, where are my ladies?